Good day, everyone. I'm Kulanag Trisha Nicole, and I am the first reporter. And our topic for today is all about the chapter 3, the teaching and assessment in reading. So this chapter is focuses on the essential process of teaching and assessing reading, both of which play a vital role in developing students' literacy and comprehension skills. Effective reading instruction goes beyond decoding words. It involves fostering critical thinking, engagement, and a lifelong love for reading. Equally important is assessment, which guides instruction by identifying students' strengths and areas for improvement. This chapter also explores various strategies and tools that educators can use to enhance reading instruction and implement meaningful assessment, ensuring that every learner is supported in their reading journey. Next. It highlights the significant impact of science, technology, and communication advancement on society, leading to increased opportunities across various sectors. And these advancements have facilitated transactions, enabled global collaborations, and fostered cross-cultural interactions, but have also created a reliance on these tools. Next is it is concerned that while technology is beneficial, it can hinder the development of crucial life skills like critical thinking and information evaluation due to a tendency to passively consume informations, and this challenges educators, especially prospective teachers, to revitalize the importance of reading and information literacy, particularly in academic settings. And then this chapter also highlights the importance of reading for various purposes, especially in the academic setting, where it plays a key role in developing 21st century skills like critical and also creative thinking. As a fundamental macro skill, reading is essential for student growth and must be effectively taught, and future teachers also therefore need to be well prepared, and strategies such as research-based lesson plans, differentiated learning activities, and appropriate assessment tools to meet the diverse needs of learners and support their overall development. Okay, so our chapter is it includes the lesson 1, the value of reading. Okay, so next is reading is a fundamental life skill that forms the foundation of a child's educational journey from the moment they enter school, diba? So it is not only a tool for academic success, but also a key to lifelong learning and personal growth. So recognizing its importance, educators and experts have long emphasized the need to nurture and prioritize reading within the school system. Over time, various authorities in the field of education have contributed their insights, and also they are offering diverse yet aligned perspectives on how reading should be taught and valued. And also, their shared views highlight the central role of reading in shaping students' abilities to think critically, communicate effectively, and also navigate an increasingly complex world. So that's
Good day, Sir Jeff. My name is Alaisame Gabela, the next reporter. Stanley, in 2007, reading is a process of reconstructing meaning from written text. It is a complex skill requiring the coordination of interrelated sources of information. This statement emphasizes that reading is not just about recognizing letters and words, but about understanding the overall message. Reader use various cues like vocabulary, grammar, context, and prior knowledge to piece together the meaning. Example: imagine reading a story about dog. You might use your knowledge about dogs, the context of the story, and the author's word choices to understand dog's character, emotions, and actions. Next is Dishant in 1991, as cited by Machaika in 2007. Reading is a visual process that begins with one's ability to use one's vision to interpret graphic symbols. So, this statement highlights the visual aspects of reading. We use our eyes to see the shapes of letters and words on a page. Our brains then interpret these visual cues to understand the text. Example: when you read a book, your eyes scan the lines of text, focusing on each word individually. This visual input is processed by your brain to comprehend the meaning. Next is Short K and Harsty J. 1996 added that is an active process of constructing meaning of words. It is likewise a number of interactive process between the reader and the text in which readers use their knowledge to build, create, and construct meaning. This statement emphasizes that active role of the reader in making sense of the text. Readers don't just passively observe information, they actively engage with the text, using their existent knowledge and making connections to build understanding. Example: when you read a book, you might make predictions about what will happen next, ask questions, and connect the story to your own experiences. This active engagement helps you to create a deeper understanding of the text.
Good day everyone, my name is Chedi Lorena Dikito and I am the next reporter for this lesson. According to Sheridan E. in 1991, the traditional skills model view of reading is a bottom-up or data-driven processing model. In this view of reading, letters are perceived in a left-to-right sequence until a word is perceived as a whole. Meaning is obtained and related to other words in the sentence, thus activating the dominant schema and its particular concepts. So according to this model, reading is seen as a step-by-step process. It starts from the bottom, meaning from the smallest part like letters. First, the reader looks at each letter from left to right. Then the brain puts those letters together to form a word. After recognizing the word, the reader understands its meaning and connects it to the other words in the sentence. When all the words are connected and understood, the brain activates what's called the schema, which is like the main idea or the concept behind what's being read. So in short, the bottom-up model means that we understand what we read by building meaning slowly, from letters to words to full understanding of the sentence.
And now let's move on to the next slide. According to Ravindra S. in 2019, expressed then that is reading is a process that involves recognizing words. It leads to the development of comprehension. So, according to him, reading is a process that starts with recognizing words. When we are able to recognize and understand words, it helps us build our comprehension or our ability to understand what we are reading. So in other words, word recognition comes first and then understanding follows. This shows how important it is to first know the words before we can fully understand the meaning of a text. And that's all for my part. Thank you. I am passing this to the next reporter.
Good day, everyone. So, this is a continuation of our report, the teaching and assessment in reading. So, let's proceed on reading comprehension. So, according to Snow 2010, comprehension is a process of both constructing and extracting meaning through interaction and engagement with written text. So, this involves not only the reader's engagement with print, but also a combination of factors such as the reader's skills, the difficulty of level of the text, and how clearly the reading task is defined. Also, Snow emphasizes that comprehension is an intentional and active process that takes place before, during, and after reading, as supported by the K-12 Reader Reading Instructional Resources. This definition highlights that reading comprehension is more than simply recognizing words. It involves actively engaging with the text at different stages of reading. So, according to Danshant 1991, defines reading comprehension as the process of understanding what is read. So according to him, reader must be able to cognitively process the words by drawing meaning from their own experiences and knowledge to fully grasp the author's message. However, these two authors agree that reading comprehension is not just about reading words but involve a deeper level of understanding, interaction, and mental engagement with the text using one's skills, experiences, and prior knowledge. So I think that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dana Camarista and I will be your last reporter. So, today I'd like to talk about a fundamental skill that underpins much of our learning and understanding. So, Anderson back in 1994 offered a powerful way to think about it. He said that comprehension is like activating or building a schema. So think of it as a mental framework that helps us make sense of the things we read about. So it's how we create a coherent explanation for the objects and events described in any text. Next slide, please. So, building on this, Abao and her colleagues in 2009 emphasized that reading comprehension is more than just passively taking in any words. So, they described it as an active exchange of ideas and expressions of thought. They rightly pointed that reading is a crucial life skill, so one that involves both creative and critical thinking. So through reading, we engage with events and bring forth that intended messages and values into our understanding of reality. So, considering just how important comprehension is for us to function successfully in society, Kendo in 2015 wisely noted that it's about essential for us to develop clearer and richer ideas about these vital macro skills. So now, as a student, we've undoubtedly been familiar with reading comprehension since our earliest days in school. So this skill has been woven into fabric of our academic journey. So therefore, it's expected that we are becoming increasingly adept with this truly essential life skill. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.
Good day, Sir Jeff. I'm Garnet Rochelle and I will be the last reporter and I will be discussing the on purpose of reading. These aforementioned ideas of reading lead you to realize its value to any student's academic undertaking. According to Hammer 2009, reasons for reading include students' career, language acquisition, students' vocabulary knowledge, modeling English writing, introducing topics, and stimulating discussion. So reading helps students in many ways. And according to Hammer, there are many reasons why students should read. So first, reading helps students prepare for their future careers, and it also helps them learn a new language, grow their vocabulary, and see how English is written. Reading can also help students learn new topics and start good discussions in class. In addition, Charlton E. 2019 expressed that reading could help you live longer. You may absorb more from physical books, you may develop the skills for the future, and it builds your vocabulary and it wards off brain deterioration. So reading is not just good for school, but it also helps in real life. Charlton said that reading can even help you live longer. When you read real books, you often understand and remember more. And reading also helps you develop skills you need in the future, and it makes your vocabulary better, and it can keep your brain healthy as you get older. So, when we understand all these ideas, we see how reading is very important for learning and for life. And as future teachers, we need to teach reading in a way that is helpful and interesting for students. Seeing the value of reading as a tool subject, students need to conscientiously learn reading and meaningfully assimilate value. Reading has to be well taught to the students and teaching strategies need to be judiciously selected. With this in mind, as prospective teachers, you need to be reminded of the important principles in teaching reading so that academic engagement becomes relevant and sustainable. Now that we see how important reading is, we understand that it is more than just a subject, and reading is a powerful tool for learning. That's why students need to take reading seriously and try to understand its true value. But to make this happen, reading must be taught well as a future educators, we need to use the right teaching methods to help students enjoy and understand what they read. So always remember that good reading lessons make learning better and more meaningful. So when we teach reading the right way, students will not only do better in school but also in life. And that's the end of my report. Thank you.